I'm currently sitting in what will be my very own library room, which is crazy to say. I'm so excited. We recently moved into a new place and this room is the dedicated library room. I've never had a library room before, so I'm very excited to just make this into a very cozy, peaceful, just like my dream reading room, I guess. But we have a lot of work to do before we get to that point. I was originally planning to do a whole like library room video where I completely decorate the whole room. I think I've decided that this video will just be the bookshelves because I think it's going to take me a while to decorate this room exactly how I want to decorate it in terms of like furniture and rugs and decor. But my plan for this video is to build some new bookshelves and then obviously organize all of my books. And we have a lot of work to do. We have all of these and then all of those boxes are also books. And we have some new bookshelves, which I'm very excited about. So I think the plan of attack is build, set up, organize. I've made myself a coffee. I've got Love is Blind. I've got a full water bottle. I'm ready. I'm hoping I have enough shelves, but I'm not sure. I might have to make another trip to Ikea, but I might not. We'll see. But let's just get started. First shelf down. Honestly, I feel like these ones are going to be much quicker. I did mess up like one part of this one, so I had to like go back and redo it, which obviously is just my own fault. But hopefully that just won't happen again. But I'm already so excited about how it's gonna look. Bookcase number 2 done. Now I'm working on the final one. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. This is the best day ever. I do now have to wait for Liam to get home to help me like secure them all, because right now they're obviously like not all lined up or anything, and I need to put some brackets and stuff on, and I can't do that by myself, unfortunately. We obviously did a lot by ourselves, but I do need help. I do. So when he gets home from work, he can help me with this. And then I'm thinking tomorrow I might start actually decorating them and like organizing them. I literally woke up this morning so excited because I was like, I get to decorate my bookshelves today. I actually do have plans later, so I'm not even sure if I'll like finish it because I only have a couple hours this morning, but I want to at least start. By the way, everything's been like attached fully now, which is stunning. I think my plan is to use kind of like the smaller shelves as more like, for the most part, like displays of my favorite series or my favorite books or books that I just want to have on display, and like a few decor pieces like plants and things like that. And as for the rest of the shelves, I don't really know. I don't know if I want to do like romance on this side and fantasy on this side or something along those lines. I don't know. So we're just gonna play around with things a bit and just like see what I like, see what fits. It's gonna be a bit of trial and error, but I'm excited. It's gonna be so much fun. So I guess we'll just jump straight into it. think I've done what I can do at this point. I also just have run out of time. I need to head out for the day. But I feel like decorating bookshelves is one of those things where it's like you set it up, you step back, you think about it, you might change some stuff and come back to it. So I think I'm done for today. I'm not obsessed. There are some parts that I'm obsessed with and that I really like, but there's a lot more work to do. Let me show you what it looks like so far. So this is what it is looking like, but what I think I've decided is that I might move this shelf over here and get another big shelf because I still have all of these books to put up. Most of them are non-fiction, so I think I might do like a big non-fiction shelf and then have this one on the other side and then put my TBR cart here. Because also, I was hoping it wouldn't matter, but the light switch is literally behind here, so I kind of need to access that. But roughly what I've decided to do is romance on this side, fantasy on this side, and then this is kind of just like the other genres. So I'm gonna have to find a new space for these ones, but we have mostly romance. It's like, I don't even know how to describe how it's organized. Well, there's just like a few authors up the top here. We have Mia Sheridan, TJR, and then just a couple little YA books that just fit nicely up there. Then I have Small Town Romance. Then I have Emily Henry, Ali Hazelwood, Abby Jimenez, because they're like three of my favorite authors. Obviously we have our Jessa Hastings shrine basically, and then I have Addicted Calloway, and then a few other ones that just like where I was keeping authors together. Then I have one rainbow shelf just because a lot of these are like authors that I may only have like a couple books of, and then underneath is just kind of like leftovers, not obsessed with this right now. Then in the little mini shelves we just have some series here, Divine Rivals, books that I basically just want to display. V.E. Schwab up the top there, and then all of my other fantasy books, so mostly just like Dark Spines here, Cassie Clare here, SJM here, kind of like lighter spines here, just whatever else is left over, and these are like all my tall paperbacks. And then in this shelf we have Francine Rivers down the bottom. Then I have my like literary fiction, general fiction stuff here. And then we have YA, mystery and thriller, plus a few other adult thrillers there just because they kind of just fit well. More YA, mystery, thriller, and then at the top we just have adult thrillers. So like I said, I still have all of my non-fiction, and then we just still have a few other random bits and pieces. It's a bit of a mess in here. I'm also unhauling some of these books that I just did not like and I don't feel the need to keep. That's not included in that. It's all these ones. But I think I'm done for today. So I will see you guys probably tomorrow, maybe, and we will do some more work. I also obviously need to go back to Ikea to get another bookshelf, which I thought might be the case, and it obviously is. I might eventually get like the little shelves that sit on top as well, like the extra shelves you can buy, but we'll see. New day, same shelves. I think I've decided that I'm gonna literally switch this whole thing around. Also, we have moved this shelf. This one was over here, moved it over here because obviously, like I mentioned, it was covering the light switch, wasn't practical. So I've put my TBR cart here instead. I am a little bit sad about it because I loved how it looked on the other side, but sometimes you do have to choose practicality. We are also going to Ikea tonight to get one last big shelf to fit in this space here for the non-fiction books, but I think I've decided that I'm going to move the romance to here and the fantasy to here because it just makes more sense, unfortunately, because it'll be like fantasy, romance, other fiction, also other fiction probably, and then non-fiction. So it flows better in my head, at least. Cue the montage. besties, I think I've done all that I'm going to do for now. The next thing on my list is to get this bookshelf and decorate that, or like organize that one. And then I want to get a couple plants and a couple decor bits to go on these shelves. And then I think we're done. It's finally really starting to come together and I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. Besties. As you can see, we have our final shelf in the library room, which I'm so excited about. We also moved a little shelf down to this end. So now it's like big shelf, little shelf, big shelf, little shelf, and I really like how that looks. I also really apologize for the lighting today because it is so dark and dreary outside, so it's very dark and dreary in here. But yeah, Liam and I went and got this shelf last night. We came home, I built it at like 8 p.m. and now it's like 7 a.m. the next morning and I'm ready to start organizing it. So the plan for this shelf is basically just non-fiction. Liam reads pretty much exclusively non-fiction. So most of these will be his books. Some of them are mine. We kind of just share them, obviously, but like he bought most of these, you know? I think I'm gonna do one shelf for memoirs, one shelf for like self-helpy kind of stuff, and then the rest will probably be Christian non-fiction because that's what we have the most of. Liam also has like textbooks, like chemistry textbooks, physics textbooks, stuff like that. And I'm considering putting them in the office just because I feel like they'll look weird in a room full of like books, having these like really chunky books, because we have a bookshelf in there too. So we'll see. I'm just gonna experiment. Guys, I think we are at the end of our little bookshelf journey. Today we have our final tasks, which are finding some plants and then a few pieces of decor and such to go on those little gaps that I have on the shelf. I am so excited. I love plant shopping and I haven't bought new plants in forever. And I also want to go thrifting to find those little pieces of decor because I feel like that's the kind of vibe I want to go for. I think I'll have a little look for like photo frames, little kind of like figurines. I want anything that's kind of like magical looking, fairy-esque. We'll see what we can find. You never know what you're gonna get at a thrift store, and I feel like it's one of those things where I'll see it and I'll just know that it's the vibe. And I'm excited because I'm going to a bunch of new op shops today that I've never been to before, so I just don't know what to expect. But it is just like the final details today, which is so exciting knowing that it's gonna be done today. And you guys are probably gonna see this video very soon, and I'm just so excited to share it with you guys. You have been so patient. I get messages every day about when my bookshelves are gonna be ready to show you, so I appreciate your patience. Also, I've picked out a couch for that room. That won't be in this video because I don't know how long it's gonna take to get to me because I haven't even like officially ordered it yet, but I've like chosen it. And then I wanna get a rug and like a side table and other little bits and pieces, which will be in future vlogs. So you'll see the room continue to come to life in future vlogs, but we'll focus on the bookshelves today. We'll see what we can find today. Let's go. How well you're going to be able to hear me because it's kind of windy today. But I've just pulled up at the next op shop. There's actually a few in like a similar area. However, the parking situation, abysmal. I was walking in front of people so hard. Anyway, I parked a few blocks away and I'm just walking there now, which is fine. But yeah, I'm intrigued. honestly pretty unsuccessful, unfortunately. The area that I was in, there were like 4 in the same general area, like 4 within walking distance of each other, so I went to all 4 of them. Nothing. Actually, that's a lie. I found one thing, but it's not for my bookshelf. It's for a hosting thing that I'm doing soon, which honestly, that's a win because I've had my eye out for something like this for a while, so we got that, but again, nothing for my bookshelves. I could keep looking, but I think I'm just gonna like cut my losses and maybe head to Bunnings to do some plant shopping because I've been to 5 today, haven't found anything, and that's okay. I had a really fun time looking. Like, it was really fun to walk around a bunch of op shops, and especially ones that I'd never been to before. These ones were very like organized and very like pretty looking, which is very nice, obviously, because it's so like organized and well kept. However, I love a messy op shop. I love something where you have to like rummage to find the good stuff. I love it when it's like packed. I feel like those kind of op shops are like where you find the good stuff because it's just like so packed that you only find the good stuff if you're willing to like put in the work. So it's a lot less likely that everything will be picked over, and these stores were all like pristine. So all the good stuff is so easy to find, which I'm sure it's been picked over, but that's okay. I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm just going to decorate my shelves with like little decorative pieces slowly over time. As I find things that I really like, I'll obviously purchase them and decorate my shelves that way. I did get some stuff from another store yesterday, which I'll show you later. I'm gonna go to Bunnings now so we can look at the plants. I think I need like 2 or 3, and I would love ones that are kind of like hanging. Right now in our house we have like 3 pothos. What's the plural version of pothos? Pothoses? I don't know. We have 3 of those. Those are the only plants we have in the house right now, and watch me get 3 more because they're just so easy to look after. They're so easy. I don't know. We'll see how we go. The wind. Why is it so loud? Ignore the cardboard you can see in the background. That is from doing this room. More importantly, plant haul and decor haul, the stuff that I got before today. So I ended up getting 4 plants. I have just kind of put them in pots that I already had at home, but I haven't like actually repotted them properly yet, so ignore the fact that they're still in their nursery pot sitting in an actual pot. But the first one I got is this beautiful philodendron Brazil. I just think this adds so much color and brightness to the room, and I'm obsessed. Like, it's so gorgeous. Then I have this tiny little guy. What is he? Peperomia assorted. But just a tiny little guy just sitting in this little pot. I need to repot him properly, but so cute. Then I just got a classic Snow Queen. I already have one of these in this room actually, and I have another pothos that I just like had previously, but I just love again how they look, how they kind of drape. She's beautiful. And lastly we have this guy. I forget the name of him. I have the little thing downstairs that tells me how to care for him because I don't know how to, but apparently this one will just like grow over and like cascade down, which I think will be so beautiful. Like, I think he's already so beautiful. It's kind of like this frosty kind of greeny white. Like, he looks like he's got like white dust almost on him. He's so pretty. I love him. He's very dainty and like fairy-esque to me, and I'm just so happy to have a lot of greenery in this room. It's also such a beautifully bright room for the most part, unless it's like literally so cloudy and dark outside, but like even if it's not a super sunny day, like today is fully overcast, but the lighting in here is actually really good, so hopefully it'll be enough like indirect light for these plants. And then lastly, I have some decor bits that I've picked up over the past like week or so. And these are all actually from $2 shops. I don't know if that's like what they're called everywhere, like discount stores. What else are they called? I just always grew up calling them $2 shops. Like, kind of like the reject shop, Crazy Clark's, like that kind of vibe. I mean, if you like the stuff that I'm about to show you, they have so much of this sort of stuff, and I just think personally, I love it. It's very much like my vibe, very cottagey, very like garden fairy-esque. Firstly, I picked up these 2 little guys. So we just have a cute little pink mushroom, and then I don't know if you can see, this is like tiny. It's a little gnome, but he has a pink mushroom hat and he's holding a tiny little mushroom, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So I got those. And then I went to another $2 shop and I found this little toadstool guy that has a little dragonfly, and I just think this is so cute. Like, imagine this next to my Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairy books. And then I got two little fairy houses. One has a little like tulip roof and the other one has a little mushroom roof. Like, you're actually kidding. Anything that's like fairy village related is just, I'm obsessed with it. I can't explain how much I love it. I know a lot of people would not think this is cute and that's so fine, but I'm obsessed. Like, I think this is the cutest thing ever. Like a little, like sitting on my fantasy shelves. Like, this is literally in my head. Like when I'm reading a fantasy book and they're talking about like the fae and like the worlds that they live in, this is what I'm seeing. And then lastly, this little guy. He is the cutest little garden gnome. He has a little leaf hat with a little flower in his hair, and he's sitting on a toadstool and he's holding a shovel. So it is probably the best like $5 I ever spent. I am obsessed with him. Leave a name suggestion for him down in the comments below. I don't know what I'm going to call him yet, but I'm going to put these on the shelves and then give you a final bookshelf tour. Welcome to the completed bookshelves for my library room. I am so happy with how these turned out. I feel like obviously it's been like about a week working on this, just like getting the shelves, building them, organizing, obviously reorganizing many times. You guys saw many montages of me moving a lot of books, but I think I am very satisfied. In saying that, I love reorganizing my bookshelves. So watch me finish this video and an hour later I might have already reorganized something because I just find it so fun. But for the most part, I think this is kind of the general layout and organization that I'm gonna stick with. Like I mentioned, this room is not complete. I want to get a rug, I want to get a couch, I want to get like a lamp to make it all cozy, maybe a side table, lots of little pieces like that just to make it very cozy and just like a place that I want to come and read. So I'm very excited for that, but at least this part is done. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to see like the future updates that I do to this room, because I'll definitely show them in future vlogs. But let me give you a bit of a run through, a bit of an overview on how I organize things and like where I put certain genres and things like that, just in case you want to see everything a little bit closer. So right now I'm standing in the corner of the room, so the door is just here, and then we have the TBR cart. I think I'm gonna get an art print or something to go up here, and then we have the bookshelves which run into this corner and along most of this wall. Obviously we have a little gap here, but I don't think we can fit another little bookshelf in there, so for the most part it's just this kind of longer wall of bookshelves and then a little section here. I do wish I could have had another one here, but like I said, it covers the light switch, so if I can figure out a way to make that work, maybe I will, because I also have the fan control on that light switch. But I mean, this is definitely enough room for me right now. As you can see, I've used some of the space on top of the shelves, but not all of it, but I will eventually be able to do that. And also I like that I've got gaps with the decor and with the plants and things like that, because as I continue to read more books, I still have space to put them on my shelves, which was the goal, I guess, because if you guys saw my last bookshelves, they were packed. Like, there was no room for anything but books. And now I have decor, I've spread things out a bit, and it just feels so nice. We might start over this side. So obviously we have my TBR cart. This one is just from Kmart. The way I like to have my books is when I buy a book or receive a book, it goes straight onto the TBR cart, and then once I've read it, then it goes on to the rest of my shelves. So all of the books that are on my actual shelves are books that I've either read or tried to read and DNF'd, but all of the ones that I haven't read are obviously on this TBR cart. Then we have our first section here. So I've mostly got fantasy, sci-fi, dystopian, that sort of stuff over this side. I tried to keep genres together for the most part, but it's not exactly perfect. At the top here, I have mostly sci-fi, so Red Rising, Ready Player One, The Lunar Chronicles, the Renegades trilogy, and then I have a few dystopian books like the Hunger Games series and the Divergent series. And then I have my Cassandra Clare collection, and underneath that, my SJM collection. Actually, I don't have my whole SJM collection there because we have my ACOTAR books over here, but we have Crescent City and Throne of Glass here. It definitely gets a little bit more random after that point, but we just have The Bridge Kingdom, Folk of the Air, Shatter Me, The Poppy War, Warbreaker, Red Queen, and Whisper. And then we have the Plated Prisoner series and a few other fantasy series, most of which are YA. And then below that we have all of my really tall paperbacks. In this little corner shelf, I mostly have fantasy books. So up the very top is my V.E. Schwab collection. Then I have my Emily Wilde books, which I absolutely adore and was so excited to have them on display. Obviously Akata, like I mentioned. Then my most beautiful books of my entire collection, I think, in terms of cover art, and that's my Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy and my Barnes & Noble exclusive signed edition. Then we have a few other random fantasy series here, like the Greenbone Saga, Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, and These Violent Delights. And then at the very bottom I just have my Divine Rivals books because I love the hardcovers, like the naked hardcovers of these books, because they have the typewriters on them and I just think that's so beautiful. Moving on, we have all my romance books. So at the very top I just have a few random books as well as my Mia Sheridan collection. You can see my special edition of Archer's Voice up there. I have the naked hardback on show because I like it better than the dust jacket. And then below that I just have more random romance books plus a book vase that Bestie Des gave me and a disco ball, which is so fun. If you don't have a disco ball in your room, you need to get one because it just reflects the light during the day so beautifully and makes your whole room just feel absolutely magical. Then I have my small town romance shelf, so Devney Perry books, Catherine Cowles, Elsie Silver, and Lucy Score, and then of course one Lila Sage book there, and my little tiny tulip. She's the cutest ever. Then we have some of my favorite authors. So we have Abby Jimenez, Ali Hazelwood, and then my Emily Henry collection. And then of course we have my Magnolia Parks / Jessa Hastings shelf with all of my bees, because you guys know bees are very significant in the Magnolia Parks universe, and this is my favorite series of all time, so I'm very happy to have a dedicated shelf for the series and for this author. I need to find a way to make this book stay shut. I might even just like masking tape it shut just so that it doesn't flick open like that, but it still looks absolutely gorgeous. I always get questions about these books. So we have traditionally published with the new covers, traditionally published with the old covers, and these are the indie published versions that you can't get anymore. They don't sell them anymore, but they are like my prized possession. And then I have the German edition of Magnolia Parks, and no, it is not upside down. I always get people saying it's upside down. I promise it's not. Also guys, I made this bee. This is my first little crochet plushie project, and then it's next to one that I did not make, which looks a lot cuter than mine, but that's okay. And then we have the two bottom shelves, which are mostly kind of just other romance series or romance books. So obviously we have the Addicted Calloway Sisters series on the side here, and then it's just kind of authors that I've kept together and series that I've kept together, which you can see. Next up we have another little shelf. At the bottom I just have a bunch of YA books. Then we have my TJR collection and obviously one of my new plants. And then on these three shelves we just have YA, mystery, and thriller. There are a couple adult thrillers on there too, just because they fit there better, but most of them are YA. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I much prefer YA thrillers and mysteries over adult ones. I think they're just so much more fun. And then at the very top I have my adult thrillers. Then we have our last big shelf. So at the very top we have all of my memoirs. Then we have all of our like self-helpy type books, so like books about finance or habits or mental health or essay collections, things like that. And then we have all of our Christian non-fiction for the most part. So these three shelves are all Christian non-fiction in alphabetical order. And then on this shelf we have some devotionals, some commentary and theology books, and then at the bottom we have all of Liam's textbooks. This is definitely, I would say, mostly Liam's shelf. I do read some of the books on here, but it is, yeah, more his stuff. But I love having it in the library room. I think it looks really beautiful, and I love just having all of our books together. And even though I don't understand pretty much a single word that Liam's books say, specifically the textbooks, I am scared of them. I'm glad to have them in our collection because we're definitely both readers, just different types of readers, I guess. And then moving on to our last little shelf here, I just have a mirror up the top here from Amazon. Then we have our classics, which is a very small collection. It's like classics, also modern classics, my little orange penguin classics, and my little special edition of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which was a collab between T2 and Penguin, which came with the mug and the book, which I love. Then we just have a plant and a bee that my sibling crocheted for me. Then the next two shelves are just like general fiction / literary fiction. Obviously I don't read a crazy amount of these, so I don't have a super large collection. I also unhauled a bunch that I just didn't really love and I just know I won't read again. And then we have another little shelf with a wedding photo on it. And lastly, we have my collection of Francine Rivers books, which are Christian fiction. But that is my little library tour, I guess. I hope you guys enjoy coming along this journey with me. I genuinely had so much fun, and it just feels so right to be fully settled into this house with all of my books in their new homes. It felt so wrong to have them all in boxes in this room for a couple weeks. So it just feels like I'm home now because my books are in their home. And it feels like I'm actually fully settled now. But I love you guys all so much. I hope you all have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in my next video very soon. Goodbye.